Hi, good evening everybody. In this video, who are the top 12 Buffalo Sabres with the best points per game average in Sabres history? Coming up. All right, before we start this video, I've been asked a few times to update my whole diet thing, so I'm going to briefly do this just for a minute. Now, you guys might recall the first 8 weeks I went on a thing called my COVID 40, which I got to 39 after 8 weeks. And in week 9, I lost 3 pounds. I counted 1 against that, okay? So I started my thing now called Taekwondo 12.5. And the progress has been a hell of a lot slower. Guys, let me, hold on, let me get this over here. A hell of a lot slower, but I just been stubborn. All right, so week 9, 2 to 3 pounds count against it. So I got 2. Week 10, 0.7. Week 11, 0.8. Yes, and I kept going. But check week 12, 4.1. There was the bonus right there. That was the work right there, 4.1. Week 13, 1.1. Week 14, 0.9. Week 15, 0.6. And you guys remember I was losing 3, 4, 5 a week at one time. Then week 16, 1.5. Week 17, which was just this Saturday, 1.0 exactly. I lost 12.7 over this 8.5 weeks. In the first 8.5 weeks, I lost 40. The last 8.5 weeks, I lost 12.7, which is normal as I'm going down. So now, and this is where it ends, I'm doing hockey. Whoa, that sucks. Hold on, I'll try this one. Yeah. This is the final phase of my diet. Hockey 15. Okay? So that's it. 15 more pounds. I want to get down to my original hockey weight. I'm at my Taekwondo weight right now. Right now. Believe me, there was something special about when I got 0.2 of a pound under what I used to be in my martial art days. So now I'm going for my hockey weight. 15 more pounds to go. And that's it, as exciting as it gets. That's about as exciting as my life gets, guys. Now, let's flip it around and we'll get started. Here's what I'm gonna do. I've already got a bunch on the board. I just didn't put the names. I'm trying to save time because, of course, I just wasted 2 minutes of your life blabbing about that. So I got 12. I got the stats up there already. The final 4, I'll put up the stats as we go along, okay? Let me get on this. And before I get started, guys, you know, I want to say something about the Buffalo Bills. What happened? It was a disaster yesterday, yes. And I tell you, when I was watching this Bills game, okay, what I seen, it drove me nuts. It drove me nuts because you guys know I hate Kansas City more than any team. I can't stand Kansas City. I don't like the way they beat us for their Super Bowl years ago. They got lucky because of bad coaching and prevent defense, I'm not for, but whatever. Look, the Bills had 13 seconds to go and they let that one slip away and rip your hearts in half. But I'll tell you what, guys, the Bills are going to be back. That team's headed to a Super Bowl. I'm just going to lay it out there. They're headed to a Super Bowl. I didn't think I would say that about the Bills 5 years ago. Now I believe it. This Allen he's a special quarterback. And you guys just got to hang in there, and you got to take it on the chin. It sucks, and it might happen to me this weekend. So, but you guys have nothing to be ashamed of. You have something to be hurt by, not ashamed of. You know what I mean? That Bills team is going to win a Super Bowl. They're going to. They could have won it this year. They could have won it this year. I think KC's going to go all the way now, though. You know? Anyway, it is what it is. It sucks. That's the life of being sports fans, folks. Okay. Now that I gave my condolences there, just hang in there, guys. The Bills made, a fan out of me this year. I was cheering for them. I really was. But I was so upset yesterday. I was so upset. So upset. I didn't even do a video. That's how upset I was after I seen that. I was disgusted and I was angry. I was, can't stand Kansas City. I can't stand Kansas City. Anyway, this is a hockey video. Here we go. All right, coming in at number 12, 608 games played, 178 goals, 380 assists, for 558 points and a .92 points per game average is Phil Housley. Comes in at number 12. The only defenseman on this board, obviously, but Phil Housley had an amazing career, an awesome career, as we all know. Phenomenal career. There's not much more to say than that. Housley was exciting. He was the Bobby Orr of the Buffalo Sabres at one time, in my opinion. And that's his Buffalo numbers. So, moving up to number 11, 375 games, 139 goals, 216 assists for 355 points. On this list, I should mention, minimum 200 games played, minimum 200 points also, okay? It has to be. So, obviously, there's only one that made the cut. He has to be there. So, again, 139, 216, 355, and 375 games, 0.95 points per game. Number 11 comes in Jack Eichel. And shout out goes to Ripsaw. Sorry, Rip, if I didn't mention you yet, because Rip was wondering where Jack would be on this board. Points per game, and I wanted to do one. He was curious about a points per game average and so on. And I said, why not? We'll look at the whole history and we'll just check it, right? I wanted to do like, it wouldn't be fair of all the captains really, because Jack, again, would be way down on the list. But Jack finishes number 11. I was surprised. I thought he'd be higher. I did till I did this. Okay, coming in at number 10. 837 games, 368 goals, 436 assists, for 804 points in 837 games, 0.96 points per game average. Dave Andreychuk comes in at number 10. Moving along. Number 9. 503 games played, 267 goals, 233 assists for 500 points in those 503 games for 0.99 points per game average. Comes in Danny Gare. Danny Gare, as we know, had his number retired, rightfully so. And there was a clutch, gritty forward, if I've ever seen one. All right, number 8. Funny how one goal you remember the most for. I remember Danny Gare most for that overtime goal in Game 1 against Montreal in 1975 in overtime. And that was an upset when Buffalo beat Montreal, even though we had the home ice. It was kind of an upset. And I was freaking the hell out that night. Oh my God. Or that day. I can't remember if it was day or night. God, so long ago. But I was freaking. All right, number 8. Bit of a surprise, maybe. 322 games, 122 goals, 201 assists for 323 points in the 322. And it's not even 1.01, so it's one point even per game average. Comes in Pierre Turgeon at number 8. A forgotten Sabre, really. His numbers were good in Buffalo. They were. But for a first overall pick to get a point per game average back then, you know, it's still a hard call. But I have no dislike for Pierre Turgeon. All right, number 7. 225 games, 92 goals, 138 assists for 232 points for a 1.02 points per game average. Is Danny Briere. Absolutely one of the best trades in our history. All right, coming in at number 6. Where are we? There you are. I should just be looking at the stats. It's easier to remember this way. 681 games, 382 goals, 313 assists for 695 points for a 1.02 points per game average again. He gets the nod because he played more games, and it's a little harder to do the longer, right? It's easier to do when there's a few hundred games than like 600-700 games. Rick Martin comes in at number 6. And we'll keep moving along because a few surprises, kind of. Not here so much, but anyway, there's one that surprised me. All right, number 5, 524 games played, 222 goals, 330 assists for 552 points for a 1.05 points per game average. Let me get him in here. René Robert comes in at number 5. Now, number 4. We'll keep moving along. I don't want to waste any time, guys. I'm trying my best to keep this moving now. I want to write out the last 4, I figured. Probably a dead giveaway. 1,191 games, 512 goals, 814 assists for 1,326 points for a 1.11 points per game average. If I said goals per game average, I messed up before. It's points, guys. Obviously, you know that. Come on, you guys know that one. Gilbert Perreault comes in at number 4. Number 3, bit of a surprise. And where is at one point, there we go. All right, 342 games, 110 goals, 275 assists for 385 points for a 1.13 points per game average. Bit of a surprise for me. Dale Hawerchuk comes in at number 3. Who, let's face it, his numbers in Buffalo weren't even close to Winnipeg's, right? I mean, I remember him when he was on the Cornwall Royals years ago. God, what a impact he had in junior. You know, like you knew they were going to win because he had Dale Hawerchuk. He was a great player, great player. All right, number 2. Where are you? There you are. 1, 2, 3, 3. 1.17. All right. 381 games, 211 goals, 233 assists for 444 points for a 1.17 points per game average. Alexander the Great, Alex McGillney, comes in at number 2. He'll always be remembered as a Sabres Canucks fan. He'll always be remembered as a Sabre. Always. No matter what. And number 1, who I thought would be. Whoa, what am I doing? Sorry, guys. That's my bad. I shouldn't have done that. What am I doing? Okay, here we go. 268. 268 games, 158 goals, 227 assists, 385 points. My God, outstanding numbers, eh? For a whopping 1.44 points per game average as a Sabre. And you guessed it, Pat Lafontaine comes in at number 1. And folks, that is that. So you got a reference video. Sorry, got a little crooked at the end, didn't I? What else is new? So that's that. There's your numbers. If you're looking at Jack all time, now you know, number 11. At 0.95 points per game. Pat Lafontaine, number 1. I gotta admit, McGillney, Howardchuk, that surprised me. That really surprised me. I expected Perreault higher, but it's tight still. But still, Perreault played so long, right? So long. So yeah, I had a few little surprises here. You know, there's a few little surprises that were on there. Like I wasn't sure where Turgeon was till Turgeon got in on there, and it was kind of cool to see some of the names go up there. That's it. I got videos to make. See you in the next one, guys.